powerful statements I've been told is, let me tell you about yourself. Let me tell you about yourself. It's a powerful statement because we're very confident. We know ourselves quite well. Yet we're intrigued. What could this person possibly know about us that we may not know? Allow me the chance to tell you about yourself. Mankind was created from the earth. Elements of kindness, humbleness, piety, forgiveness. The jinn were created from elements of fire, arrogance and haughtiness and anger, feistiness. The angels were created from light, nur, perfection. So why do we, a people made of the earth, do actions like the jinn and think we're angels? Keep in mind that the earth rages. Tornadoes, typhoons, earthquakes. They're called natural disasters. It's in our nature to be raged, to be angry, feisty. But how do we find the balance between what's in our nature and how to execute that appropriately? Before we allow the light to blind us and the fire to consume us. A few months ago, I was blinded by the light. I felt that I was right, I was perfect, I did no harm. This person that I felt that I was right against was my best friend of 5 years. Her name was Reem. We did everything together. We went shopping, we spoke about personal matters, we shared secrets. She was my family, she was my colleague, she was everything. It was a sisterhood that I've never had before. It was so strong. We didn't even have an argument for 5 years. It was a very strong relationship. We spoke on a daily basis. Then it became on a weekly basis. Eventually, monthly basis, once or twice. And then months would go by and we weren't speaking to each other. Best friends were now strangers. Who was this person? We were no longer in touch, no longer in contact. In April, I decided to message her. Imagine my surprise when I noticed that her relationship status went from single to married. I was her best friend. Why didn't she tell me? Why didn't she tell me she was getting married? This was the marriage that we were preparing. What she was going to wear, how she was going to have her makeup, how she was going to walk down, how she was going to dance. Everything was planned. Why didn't she tell me? All I saw was red. I was enraged. There was this fire within me that nearly consumed me. And I was blinded by this light that I was right. She was wrong. I was perfect. I didn't do anything to hurt her. I did nothing to harm her. Why did she hurt me so much? Sarah, a mutual friend of both of us, got involved. She created a WhatsApp group, added me, added Reem. We were stuck in a group. We had to talk. What were we going to talk about? The first thing Sarah said was, we need to be aware of our actions, and we also need to be aware of our thoughts. We need to be aware of our actions and our thoughts as well. Here I was acting like the jinn, arrogant, prideful, angry, and thinking I was an angel, that I was right, she was wrong. I was perfect, she was the devil. I was willing to talk, but I'm not going to apologize. She was wrong, after all. She spoke her piece. She said that she was busy, and she assumed that I was busy as well. We both assumed the worst of each other. We were too busy, once best friends, to talk. Too busy to say hi. Hey, كيف الأحوال? أخبارك? Too busy to say hi. What happened to a best friend of 5 years? I asked all these questions to her. She answered. Then came the most important question. Why didn't you tell me you got married? Why didn't you let me know, your best friend of 5 years? Her explanation was she herself did not know. What was supposed to be an engagement became an official marriage. Khutuba became aqd. She herself was just a surprise. And when she found out, she cried because she wanted me, her best friend of 5 years, to be by her side. Her explanation was like water that doused the fire within me, and I felt silly. All this time, I was assuming, I was enraged. This fire was consuming me. This light was blinding me. But if only I had asked, I would have come to know. The explanation was quite simple. Very simple, actually, that I felt stupid about myself. Why did I nearly destroy this 5-year relationship? because I didn't want to ask, because I was arrogant, because I was prideful, because I felt that I was right and she was wrong. Sarah taught me a lot about myself, and that was when she said, "Let me tell you about yourself. You are from the earth. Humble yourself. Humble yourself." So I brought myself back down to earth, and I apologized. I'm sorry for assuming. I'm sorry for blaming. I'm sorry that I did not stay in touch. I'm sorry. It took a lot. There was a fire. But once I released those words, I felt better. I felt calm. I felt like the earth, humble, kind, forgiving. I was ready to move on. Sarah said that you don't have to be right or wrong. You have to understand one another. So I learned I have to understand the other person, to ask questions, to not assume, to give people chances, to make excuses for people. We are of the earth. The earth rages, earthquakes and tornadoes. But there's a calm after the storm. I'm still trying to find the balance between all my elements. Sometimes I get enraged. Sometimes I feel like I'm always right. But I'm from the earth. And from the earth, growth happens. Growth. Thank you.